Well, hello and welcome to Tuesday, 2 o'clock with Revel Coach. And I am flying solo today. My sister is not with us. She is attending one of the World Series games. I'd like to say go Astros. Tatiana, I'm not sure about you, but we both live in Houston. So we are all about the Stros today. I want to introduce to you my guest, Tatiana LaBello. Tatiana is a fitness guru. She has lived a plethora of experiences, from being a fitness expert as well as national fitness, Miss National Fitness, and maybe even Miss World Fitness or runner up. And like, that's just super cool, like amazing, really. So anyway, welcome, Tatiana.
Hello, Allison. And I just want to say thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here with you, talking to you today and to your listeners.
So how'd you get started with fitness?
I started when I was 14. I became certified. My mom saw an ad in the paper and all us girls went. We got certified from the California Dance Academy and came back. And where I was taking dance, I actually asked them if I could rent a studio. And then I charged my students $1. This is way back. I charged them $1 to come to my class. And so I was an entrepreneur at 14. I was capitalizing on teaching aerobics. But to be honest with you, Allison, I've lived my whole life in fitness. I started baton twirling when I was 5 years old. And by the time I was 9, I retired with 150 trophies and a world championship under my belt. So fitness and being on stage and competing and goals and discipline have always been a part of my life.
Wow, that's a great start. I'll tell you what, it's so hard to set goals. Like, I think you have to learn how to set a goal. Some people, maybe it comes naturally, but having someone to hold you accountable, knowing how to make goals that are achievable, that's something that is not easy.
No, it's not. And if it was a class in school, I missed it. I don't remember signing up for goal setting 101. But I had the blessing and the honor of learning from my mother, who was so ambitious, and she was always doing multiple businesses, and really it all boiled down to she wanted to help people. So I grew up witnessing that, and I knew that that was going to be a part of my journey, is helping people. And then we started getting into health and fitness and just a healthy lifestyle and holistic lifestyle. So that's kind of how it all emerged. And so I got to be a part of that from the ground floor, if you say. And I know the power of setting those goals, but also having a support team and system around, community around you to help you fulfill those.
What are your goals now? Do you have a goal for the upcoming year, the next 5 years?
Absolutely. So I'm doing a lot of speaking gigs right now, and my main goal is to get onto a larger stage than I've been on, with a women's empowerment stage, and just really sharing a message of stepping into your calling with that confidence and courage and clarity, and really living the life of your dreams. My company name is LaBello Lifestyle, which LaBello is the beautiful. So living the beautiful life, living the life of your dreams. And what that means to me is truly living out what your purpose is, because each and every one of us, superpower, I call it, a super unique talent that only we can fulfill. And it's that burning desire inside, but a lot of us tend to ignore it. So it's when we really discover it and we really deep dive into it and step into that, that's where we can really live a life that is so fulfilling, because we're meant to do. And I know, Allison, that you are doing that. You're living out all the things that you've set out to do, all your goals in different directions. You're honing into those skills, setting goals, and taking the action and surrounding yourself with a network, and like your community that you have here is amazing, where you each get to champion each other. You each get to help each other on that path. And that's so amazing to see.
Well, you're totally speaking my language, because at Revel Coach, we always talk about your vision and your action, right? And then along the way, of course, you experience growth, because as you go out and try to find ways to make that vision come true, you have to experience new things. And every time you have something new, it adds to your repertoire. You know, you learn, you live, you learn, you do, you learn, and you teach, you learn. And I think this is great. So I know a little secret about you is that you have an accountability partner.
I do. And I feel like accountability is huge in accomplishing your goals. Absolutely.
So tell me about your experience with using accountability partners.
So what I have right now is Monday through Friday, we talk early in the morning. It's a 15-minute call. We talk about our 3 gratitudes. So starting the day in gratitude is essential to really setting up your day. So I really believe in just coming from that space. And the more gratitude and celebrations that we can have, the more comes into our life. And then we talk about our 3 top power goals. So what top 3 power goals, and what that looks like, Allison, is that we really focus on what's my next best move in business. So what is, if you have a business, all the entrepreneurs and all the business individuals out there that are watching this, what in your business, what would move the needle? So what are your weekly goals, but breaking them down to what are my daily, what are the top 3 profit producing activities that I could do during this day that would move me closer to my goals, which brings me closer to the vision that I have for my life.
Let's just suppose I've got an accountability partner. We start with gratitude, and then we talk about our 3 power goals that we have. That's to complete for that day. Is that correct?
That's correct. And then the next morning we get to check in. Okay, how did your goals go? Well, I accomplished this, or something got in the way. Well, what got in the way? Why didn't I? Well, because I shifted, because something came up that took precedence. It was more important. And then the more I looked at it, I realized that this isn't a top priority. So I moved it. I completely moved it out of the way, or I went ahead and shifted it. So we get to powerfully own when we didn't accomplish something. We get to powerfully own it, not of shame, not of guilt, not of condemnation. It's simply awareness. Because when we are out of integrity with ourselves, Allison, we lack that confidence. And then we start to get in the snowball effect of self-deprecation, and we lose that confidence. And then we don't believe things that we say we're going to do. So integrity with yourself is essential. So the accountability, not only is she there to like cheer me on, like I have a cheerleader, but also to celebrate with me, like, yes, I did it. I worked on my my summit for my up and coming Women's Empowerment Summit, and this is what I came up with. And so we get to celebrate those things together too. And
again, you're
and
just
acknowledge
speaking my
that
language, because you know we have the vision, action, growth, and joy. So we 100% believe in celebrating all along the way. You know, it is so important to celebrate the small wins. And if you don't celebrate the small wins, it feels like forever until you get a big win. Okay.
You know, you're so right, because honestly, how I grew up, we didn't celebrate. And it wasn't till I got certified as a coach that I realized the importance of it. It was all setting goals. Okay, what's next? Setting goals, what's next? And there wasn't a pause and I'm like, okay, wow, I did it. This is amazing. What's next now? But really kind of revel in that, in that, the confidence and how you set a goal and you accomplished it. So we get to celebrate that. And you're right, the little wins each and every day. I didn't realize I could celebrate that I just spent my 5th day at the gym, but you can. So you can celebrate something so small as I ate healthy today. I didn't grab that cookie or, on my business, I made that phone call that I was really scared to make, and I did it. I sent out that email. I put myself out there. I did a live video on Facebook or social media. So those things we get to celebrate that we do them, and it just builds that muscle. It's like our mind. It's a muscle that we get to build.
All right. I like the joy muscle. I think that's a good one to flex.
I
Right?
love it.
I'm actually going to write this down. The joy muscle.
I love it. I love it.
I got the picture. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to chair the Florida Writers Con for 2022. And so
let's
many
celebrate.
People I know, let's celebrate. So many people would stop and make comments about how much they were enjoying it and how confident I looked. And I said, it's all in the posture. Like, seriously, it's all in the posture. You put your shoulders back, you put your chin up, you look forward, and everybody thinks that you've just got it going on.
Right.
And, even though inside you might be going, what am I doing?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's been many times where I'm speaking and they're like, oh, you seem so confident. And like, oh, if you could really see what's going on inside, I have all of these thoughts and stuff, and we're still human. So we still get to deal with some of that, but it's truly how the place that you're coming from. And I always get grounded in my contract. And my contract says I'm an authentic, powerful leader speaker. So it's always getting grounded in who you are. But congratulations. So I celebrate you, Allison.
Thank you. So you have a contract with yourself. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's a contract of a ways of being. So it's how we show up in the world. So we can show up timid and powerless and fearful, or we can show up and owning our power. And so it's really in your stance. It's who you say you are, and it's repeating that contract, but it's connected with your values. So your values will show up in your ways of being. And so it's really laying that foundation of what your values and in alignment with who you're being, who you want to be. You may not be there. So if you feel fear, if you feel like you're a fearful person and you feel insecure, we want to reframe that to say, I am powerful. So instead of saying I'm fearful, I am powerful. And the more you tell yourself and have that positive self-talk and truly stand in it, you'll eventually believe it. So it's whether we're talking ourselves positive or negative, whatever you say, whatever you believe, you're right. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So whatever you believe, you'll achieve. But you got to conceive it.
When I start to get a little distracted and I'm feeling insecure, I go back to, I like the way you say it better, but I always say, if I stay in my lane, I stay where my yes. heart is. And it usually when I'm feeling disenfranchised from my own vision, it's because I've stepped out of my lane. And it doesn't mean that my lane can't grow wider, but I have to go back to that root. But I think the way you said it is a little bit more eloquent.
No, I like what you said. It's staying in your lane, because you're right, Allison. When we look, we're focused on our vision, but all of a sudden we see, oh, what is Mary doing over here? And we start looking over here and maybe doing something that she was called for. We're not staying in our lane, and then we're comparing, which then that takes us down this rabbit hole of comparison is the killer of our calling. It's the thief of our joy. So you're right. It's good to have that look to inspiration, like, oh, what's possible for me, what she's done. I'm going to get there. But then keeping our focus and rooted and grounded in our why. It's why we're doing what we're doing. That is essential, is to have that groundedness, because then we're going to do the uncomfortable. And we got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because our growth zone is outside our comfort zone. That's where all our growth is, outside. It's not here in our comfort zone. If we're playing small and we're living in our comfort zone, there's no growth. So there's no comfort in our growth zone. There's no growth in our comfort zone.
Well, that is absolutely true. What do they say? The goldfish will only stay as big as its container.
Yep.
You
right.
You dump it into a bigger container and it will grow bigger.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
how our personal growth is as well. I mean, that's a physical sign that we can look at and say, look at that, look what the world can be if you allow yourself to grow. And similarly, what I think they always say, Einstein said that, you know, if you scold, I don't think the word is scold, but scold a fish that because it can't climb a tree, it'll always live its life feeling like a failure. Versus, you know, okay, goldfish is never going to climb a tree. So I don't even know how that goes, but I don't know why I brought it up. Anyway,
right. Yeah. It's being your best. What I'm gathering, what I hear you saying, Allison, is just being the best version of who you were created to be, not trying to be somebody else. Somebody else is already taken, but be your best version, which is always striving to do more. Do a little bit more each day, do a little bit more and get a little bit better and a little bit more growth and reaching out and making new contacts and having these connections. That's growth. You know, iron sharpens iron. So get around the people that will elevate you, that will empower you, that will inspire you, that will help you to the next level. And that's why coaching is so amazing, is because we get to champion our clients. We get to come alongside and go, yes, you got what it takes. You have everything it takes. Now let's go do it.
This past weekend, there was a person that came to the conference and he said, oh, you know, I met him and he likes Toastmasters, and Tatiana and I know each other from Toastmasters. And those of you that watch often know that I'm a big Toastmaster. Anyway, he's like, oh, I'm a Toastmaster. I really like to talk and I like to write, which is why I'm here. He's like, but I don't really know how to talk to people. And there was a woman who was standing nearby by herself at, you know, like a tall bistro table. And I said, well, go over to her and say, hey, my name is, what genre do you write? So he's like, okay. He went over there. The next thing I know, you know, 20 minutes later, there's a whole table full of people and they're all talking together. And it's that, you know, so me watching him just experience that moment of being like, I can do this.
I love it.
Feeling.
You got him into immediate action. And that's another thing, is we talk ourselves out of it. So what my mentors always said is take messy, uncomfortable action. It's not comfortable when you do something for the first time or something you fear. Take messy. It's going to be messy. Who cares? But you're getting into action. And so I love how you challenged him to get outside his comfort zone and do something he normally wouldn't do. And that's another thing that coaches, you know, do, is we get them to take that uncomfortable action. And then when they do it, they realize, wow, that wasn't that bad. And I'm so happy that I did. You know, I've never had anyone, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done what you made me do. They're always happy they do it.
Yeah. I feel like coaching is creating a safety net for your clients. So you're giving them the space to practice, and then you're helping them along by offering strategies that will procure success. So, you know, that you create the ladder for them, so to speak. So they might have that big, hairy, audacious goal. And that's, you know, up on the 31st floor of the Empire State Building, but, you know, they're on the ground level. So how are you going to get them there? But you have to provide that ladder. You have to provide the stairs or even an elevator, you know, so, but you have to give them that safety net of how they can get there. That first step is so often the hardest.
It is. And that's why having someone in your corner, coach, accountability partner, a trainer, whatever, mentor, whoever, is just having that someone that will inspire you to take that action and that next big step.
How would you recommend somebody find an accountability partner?
They need to have someone that aligns with who they are. So whatever field that they're going into, now this could be, it could be a trusted friend. It could be, you know, finding a coach. It could be someone that will be there, that will hold them accountable, that will be supportive and encouraging. Because in accountability, what we don't want is someone that's like, you know, throwing that whip and like making us feel bad because we didn't follow through on what we said we were going to do. So there is a fine balance of finding someone that is encouraging and supportive, but also that will not let you get away with setting what you're going to do and then not following through. So it's someone that will shed to light that awareness to where you can really see, wow, this is what's getting in the way. I didn't do that goal that I set because I was fear came up. And that's why then fear led to procrastination, which led to this whole other stream to where that will stop you in your tracks. So finding that accountability, and we can really search, if seek and ye shall find, because a lot of people, we don't go out, we're like, oh, I don't know where to go or what to do. We can just look around of our circle influence. Who do you admire? Who's where you want to be, and then reach out to them.
And this is different than a mentor in many ways.
Yes, because accountability, a mentor will shed light and kind of guide you along the way, but accountability is more for you. It's your self-awareness. It's for you taking ownership, and you stepping into taking responsibility for what you say that you want. And so accountability is going to hold you to what you say that you want. They're going to be there, and a supportive light to hold you in that light.
So when you meet with your accountability partner, is it a 15-minute conversation, or is it a 30-minute conversation? How does that work?
So it's anywhere from actually 5 to 15 minutes, because sometimes we're catching up on, well, my gratitude, this is why I chose this today, because, this is what happened. And I'm so grateful. Just for instance, one of my coaches, I was coaching one of my coaches, and she just finished a half marathon. And I'm so proud of her because we started working and she had never set goals before. She had some habits that needed to be shifted. So she really set some new habits, and she knew I was checking in with her as not only her coach, but accountability, because that's what we do, accountability and support. But she just finished that half marathon, and that was a huge goal. She'd never ran in her life. So this was a huge goal. So we get to share those gratitudes and reflect and really celebrate that, but then also, go over those goals. So sometimes it could last 15 minutes, but we've got it down pat. I usually have a notebook and sticky notes. I don't have them right here, but I have little sticky notes, and they're everywhere because we've been doing this since January. So you can imagine, I write them down, have a whole notebook, all written down every single day, gratitudes and goals. So then it also tracks what I started in January and where I am today. So it's a good tracking system too. So I love it. It works. It's working very, very well.
I like that. I like the idea that you put them on sticky notes too, because I'm like a sticky note
Yes.
So I've got a couple of different ones. I got 3 right here on my computer right now. So.
I love it. Yes, here's one I just wanted to share. And so this is what it looks like, the gratitude and the power goals. But the key to this is having this for the day right in front of me. Because guess what? If we set goals and I said, today I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and then I put them in a book and close it, guess what happens to my goals? Nothing, because I forget. But having them in front of me where I can see them on my desk, right in front, so then I can okay, perfect. I got this done. Sometimes we do book ending. And what book ending is like, I've been meaning to send out that email and to call some of my potential clients. So, and I haven't done it. So I'll text her, book ending with you. I'm going to XYZ, call this person, that person. I'm going to email them now. So that it makes me do it in the moment. Then when I'm done, I'm like, done, completed. So that's book ending. What you need to get done right then that you keep putting off. It's just another form of accountability.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm envisioning my note, because as much as I live on my Google Calendar, but I love the paper stuff. And so if it goes onto my Google Calendar, great, I get a reminder. That's wonderful. But I write other stuff down and I never see it again. It's like it just kind of drifts down to the bottom of the stack and new stuff comes in and I feel so unorganized. But if I had a notebook and I actually took my sticky notes and I put them on a page and then I just flipped the page for each day, I'm like, oh, this is something I'm definitely going to try. I think I'm thinking, okay, it's this is lazy man's way of doing it. I'm thinking January 2023. But I probably should start now because what we're
I
talking
was
about
just
here is
gonna
like
say, there's no
action,
time
taking-
like the
taking
present.
action right now.
That's
Exactly.
right. I'll
Exactly.
be calling you in the morning to see if you've done it.
Well, Tatiana LaBello, how can people get in touch with you, learn more about your coaching, about your accountability?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'd like to offer your listeners or whoever's listening to this right now is I do a 60-minute free vision strategy session. And I just know the power of having someone come in and establish like where you're at to where you want to be, and the power of really setting up the next steps and getting clarity and just talking that over. So I love to just pour into women in that retrospect. So I'm offering a 60-minute free vision strategy session. They can go to TatianaLaBellosCalendar.com and just book a session with me. My calendar is there. And then my website is LaBelloLifestyle.com. And then I am hosting a Women's Empowerment Summit on November 10th. It's Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So they can sign up for that on Unleash Your Beauty Within.
Ooh, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Well, Tatiana, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, thank you, Allison. I love, like, this is my passion, and I love aligning with you because, you know, talking about goals and vision and purpose and passion, you know, that's what lights me up. That's what truly gives me inspiration. And I just appreciate you and your time and having me on this podcast.
Well, best of luck in your next steps in your speaking career. So we should like align our strategies, and then maybe we can do stuff together. So
Let's do it on our accountability call.
There we go. We'll get an accountability.
That you're starting soon.
That's right. Starting soon. Not next year.
2023. No, the time is now. Right now. If there's anyone that needs to do something, do it right now. Within the next 24 hours.
Within the next 24 hours. You know, I like
take action
in a reasonable time frame, because I'm like thinking, oh, I've got to do X, Y, Z, and 1, 2, 3, and then maybe I don't know, red, green, blue. So I feel like, wow, I gotta get back on into everything, and then run to the airport at the same time. So
you got this. I believe in you. You got this. You can do it.
Yes, I got it.
Just focus, put it all in, prioritize, and make it happen.
Stay in my lane. I actually did hear. I read some sort of strategy one time, and it was like, write down the 6 things that you need to do tomorrow, and then cross off everything that's not the top 3. So it's obviously you're talking about the top 3.
That's an interesting way.
only do those, like, make those 3 things your goal, and that's it for the next day. Like, he's like, then you get everything you want done, because you have all that little extra stuff in there that you're thinking you got to get done, but you really don't have to, or they happen sort of automatically.
So true. It's the power of 3. I'm telling you, I used to have a long list. Like, we're overachievers. I'd have a long to-do list. Now I have a to-be list. How am I being? Because we're human beings, not human doings. But now the power of 3 it's amazing. It's changed my life.
Yeah.
Well, but a big shout out to my accountability partner, Brittany Horn.
Hey, Brittany.
Thank you, Allison.
Well, we'll see you all the next time. Revel Coach, we are here for you. I am Allison Nissen. Glad to see everyone. Tatiana LaBello, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.